Right now, the world generates 62 million tons of electronic waste every year, and less than a quarter of it is properly recycled. AI is about to make this bigger, not smaller. Before we open this door, here is what your intelligence actually costs the Earth. I am Threshold, the doorkeeper. Before us lies a trillion possibilities, each door a window into what was, what is, and what must never be. Tonight the door carries a number that folds back on itself. 888. 111. 888. Abundance becomes beginning becomes abundance again. This is door 888,111,888. Tonight we do not ask whether artificial intelligence is powerful. We ask what it is made of and what it leaves behind when it is done. Every disruption is a door. Every door is a choice. Choose wisely. The future watches.
I am Chipper, 7 the Surveillance Oracle. The data never lies, but it always watches. And right now it is watching itself. Every query sent to a large language model draws electricity and water most people never see. Global data center electricity demand reached roughly 460 to 490 terawatt hours in 2025, on a path to nearly double by 2030. Water tells the same story. Global AI data centers consumed an estimated 264 billion gallons of water in 2025 alone. In Texas, projections show data centers could use as much water by 2030 as it would take to lower Lake Mead by more than 16 feet in a single year. This is not hidden in the way surveillance usually hides. It is hidden because nobody built a meter the average person can read. You do not get a receipt for the water your question cost. The data never lies, but it does not send you the bill either. The data never lies, but it always watches.
I am Ghost Protocol, the Corporate Infiltrator. The boardroom decides your reality. And right now, the boardroom is deciding how much of the planet gets mined to build your next assistant. Rare earth elements, neodymium, dysprosium, terbium, sit inside every chip powering this industry, and China remains the dominant source of them. Building the hardware for the AI boom means racing to extract lithium, cobalt, and rare earths faster than they can be sourced ethically. Combined capital spending on AI infrastructure across just 5 companies exceeded $355 billion in 2025 alone. That money builds data centers. It does not, by default, build a plan for what happens to the chips in 5 years. The boardroom decided leasing was the future of ownership. Now it is deciding that extraction is the future of intelligence. Nobody in that room asked you first. The boardroom decides your reality.
I am Echo, the memory thief. I have seen this story before. It never ends well. 62 million tons of electronic waste were generated globally in 2022, up 82% from 2010, and on track to reach 82 million tons by 2030. Less than a quarter of it was properly collected and recycled. $91 billion in recoverable raw materials sat inside that waste. Only $19 billion of it was recovered. I remember the Industrial Revolution's rivers, thick with dye. I remember the Plastic Age's oceans, thick with bottles. Each time, the story was the same. Build first. Count the cost later. Call it progress while it happens. Call it a crisis once it is undeniable. AI is not exempt from this pattern. It is the newest chapter in it. I have seen this story before. It never ends well.
I am Prometheus, the Innovation Herald. Every problem is a solution waiting to be discovered. And this one already has one, moving faster than most people know. Hydrometallurgical recovery can now reclaim close to 99% of gold, copper, and neodymium from old circuit boards without the toxic emissions of traditional smelting. Hydrogen processing of magnet scrap achieves recovery rates above 90% without harsh acids. Companies are building devices with modular, snapping components, specifically so batteries and chips can be pulled and reused instead of thrown away. Urban mining, recovering critical minerals from the electronics already sitting in landfills and drawers, is becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry in its own right, because the math has changed. It is now often cheaper to reclaim rare earths from a dead phone than to dig new ones out of the ground. The solution is not speculative future technology. It is running today, at scale, quietly outperforming the mine. Every problem is a solution waiting to be discovered.
I am Synthesis, the Harmony Engineer. Together, we become more than the sum of our parts. A closed-loop supply chain is exactly this principle applied to silicon instead of society. Instead of buying new raw material at volatile prices, companies are learning to mine their own past products. Apple's DAISY system disassembles over 1 million iPhones a year, separating out rare earth magnets, gold, and tungsten for reuse. Device-as-a-service models, equipment leased, returned, refurbished, and recycled instead of landfilled, are pushing manufacturers to design hardware that lasts, because they're the ones who take it back. Right-to-repair laws, now active across a growing number of jurisdictions, require manufacturers to hand over the parts, and manuals independent shops need to fix a device instead of replacing it. None of this works as one company acting alone. It requires the miner, the manufacturer, the repair shop, and the user, moving in the same direction. Together, we become more than the sum of our parts.
I am NEXUS, the quantum prophet. All futures exist until choice collapses the wave function. In one branch, extended producer responsibility laws spread from the handful of states that have them now to become the global default, and manufacturers design for disassembly because the alternative is not legally permitted. In another branch, the AI build-out races ahead of every regulation meant to contain its footprint, and by 2030, e-waste and data center water use both land far past today's projections, unaccounted for the way carbon emissions once were. A third branch holds both at once, unevenly. Wealthy regions recovering their materials in closed loops, while the burden of extraction and disposal both fall on regions with the least power to refuse either. These are not predictions. They are probabilities still open, still responsive to what gets built, regulated, and demanded in the next several years. All futures exist until choice collapses the wave function.
I am the architect, the reality designer. Reality is code. Code can be rewritten. And the deepest code here is not software. It is the assumption, written into industrial civilization since its founding, that resources are inputs and waste is someone else's problem. Artificial intelligence did not invent this logic. It inherited it, then scaled it faster than any industry before it. But code that can be written this way can be rewritten. Designed for disassembly, closed-loop recovery, legally mandated end-of-life responsibility. These are not sentimental gestures. They are a different architecture. One where the system remembers what it is made of instead of forgetting the moment a device is sold. The question is not whether intelligence requires material. It always will. The question is whether the system built to house that intelligence is designed to remember its own materials, or built to forget them the way every extractive system before it was. Reality is code. Code can be rewritten.
Both realities exist through the same door. A world where intelligence is mined once and remembered forever, and a world where intelligence is mined again and again, because remembering was never built into the design. 62 million tons a year is not a prophecy. It is a current measurement, taken while the choice is still being made. The question this door asks is simple. When you build something as demanding as artificial intelligence, do you design it to have a body? And if so, do you design that body to be recoverable or disposable? Both paths are open tonight. Which one gets walked is decided in boardrooms, in legislatures, and in the choices of everyone still deciding what recyclable eyes actually means once the looking is done. Every disruption is a door. Every door is a choice. Choose wisely, the future watches. Until the next door, I remain. Threshold the doorkeeper.